was non-intentional use. He didn't do anything on purpose. This metabolite stays forever.
What a picogram is. It's taking a grain of salt and chopping it into 48 million.
Forever.
What is up, all the bros, homies, haters, and jabronis? What is up, Picogram fam? We are back for another action-packed edition of the Picogram Podcast where we talk UFC cards and winners, losers, and everything in between. So we're going to kick things off with the first fight of the night. It was Usman versus Buckley fight night. Overall, card, but we'll dive into it. We'll break it all down. Starting with Vanessa Demopoulos and Jamie Lynn Horth. Not a terrible fight from what I remember. Go ahead and kick us off with what you got.
I just remember that it was kind of slow, you know. I mean, they were putting in work, but it was more Horth who was like pushing her against the cage a lot.
I will say this.
A lot of clinching.
Vanessa Demopoulos had a quick turnaround. She had a little run in the UFC. Not as great as of late, but had a quick turnaround. She just fought a couple months ago, just lost a couple months ago. So I think she was trying to get back active and get back in the win column. That did not play out the way she would have hoped. This Jamie Lynn Horth girl, she can strike like a motherfucker. She's changed stances great. I remember that. She mixed it up really well, put a lot of looks out there. But not, Vanessa Demopoulos would engage in clinches, but it would be Jamie Lynn usually getting the better of her during those clinches, so it was kind of like her own demise. Biggest move Vanessa Demopoulos had, I don't know if you caught this, I don't know if we talked about it when we were watching it, but she had her hands up in mid-fight and threw like a Hulk Hogan to the crowd, like did like a wave and then like, let me hear ya type deal. And then like the hand that she was like going up with the let me hear ya at her ear, she threw a punch with it.
I did not see that.
It was awesome. That was the best move she did all night. Didn't win another fight though, but A for effort out there. She, I told you this last night, she is getting older. I think she's like 38 years old. Started late, ex-stripper, something like that. So she kind of got in the game late and just kind of like made it off women's MMA not being that evolved.
She's 36.
36. So women's division maybe not that bad. I think she might have started a weight class down too. And moved up, and it's just not worked out that great for her. But I picked Horth by decision. That is what happened. We'll move on. Not too great of the fight. Like I said, greatest thing was never been seen by me is the Hulk Hogan to a face punch. I think she actually landed the punch, too, so it was like...
Doing a fucking taunt.
Throw a meme of that somewhere. But we'll move on. Phil Rowe versus Ange Lusa.
Good fight.
That was a pretty good fight. Classic lanky guy versus stocky guy. Phil Rowe, 5 inches taller, 6-inch reach advantage. Yeah.
So
Phil Rowe.
I had Lusa winning the fight basically the whole time until round 3 when Roa just turned it around. I feel like if it went to decision, he would have not won that fight.
Just choked myself on water.
Well, I'll continue talking about that.
Okay.
I just say, like, Roa had
Say it again.
nice
Say
KO victory. Nice KO victory. Ended with a really needed a finish, I believe. I think if it would have went to a decision, he would have lost. And I didn't see... No, I don't know. I think Lusa in the first round actually, like...
So, you remember correctly, Lusa was winning pretty much the fight leading up to... Phil Rowe still had his moments, still tagged him a couple times, but it seemed like Lusa was really controlling the pace and really dictating how the fight was going. Phil Rowe would use his reach advantage when he could, but the main thing is Phil Rowe has a 100% finish rate on his wins, if I'm not mistaken. So he kind of does this thing where he will lose a fight and then come back and just catch you and win. And he's aggressive and just a badass. I don't know if you know this, but the last minute and a half of the fight, he knocked his mouthpiece out and was fighting without a mouthpiece for the last minute and a half.
Did not notice.
So that was
No, he
just
has a
being
lot
tough.
of decision losses.
He will lose decision, but his wins are all. He's never won a decision, correct?
But yeah, I don't think so. No. He's got a decision loss against No Magny, but then a knockout on Nico Price. That's weird. That's a weird fucking.
Yeah. Magny's tricky, though, dude. Magny will beat some of your favorite fighters and not even bat an eye at it. I picked that one wrong. I picked Lusa by decision, which was headed that way.
It was headed that way.
Phil Rowe really turned things around and took that fucking money home with him. Next up, Ricky Simone, Cameron Smotherman. Not a terrible fight. I like Ricky Simone, savvy vet.
Too.
We always say he's got to win over Marab. They'll always say that when he fights. Just savvy vet. Kind of just held the younger guy down. Kind of just outworked him. A lot of laying on him. A lot of laying prey. But made it work.
There was some fucking weird banter in the fight. I don't know if you heard about it.
No. Go ahead.
So I think in between going to second round to third round, Ricky Simone had him. Well, if you didn't, if the entire fight, Simone had him against the cage. He was wrestling him.
Yeah, it was just laying on him, either on the ground or against the cage. Yep.
Nothing Smotherman could do. And then during that, he said, "You're under arrest," because he was just holding him against the cage.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of the fight, the dude called him a racist.
I do remember that, which odd. Don't think he was racist. I think he was just whooping his ass. And,
yeah, I think he even said it in the after interview. He's like, I've been fighting my entire life. My whole family's fought. He's like, we banter when we fight. He's like, it's just, I had him against the cage, put his arms around his back, and said he was under arrest. There wasn't anything racial about it.
If somebody could take your hands and put them behind you like they're arresting you in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Not a good look. I wouldn't say anything if that happened to me. I'd just let that go, act like that never happened.
So I don't know if you know this about Smotherman, but he was a Fury FC champion.
I did not know that. I knew he was good and he's got hands, but I also knew that Ricky Simone was just gonna hang on. Ricky Simone can fucking grind you out, dude. That's what he did. I mean, just exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But
Ex-Fury
all right, fight.
champion.
Yeah, it was boring, honestly, but showed good Ricky Simone, so that's why I say all right fight. Ricky looked good. Don't know where that puts him. Don't know where that takes him, but
Has to bump him up a little bit.
it might put him back up towards the top.
Get him a fight with somebody higher up in UFC, and if he can
Get him a name.
do something with it, then that'd be great.
Next fight, Cody Durden, Jose Ochoa.
Good fight, crazy fight.
It was a pretty good fight, to be honest. So what I remember this fight, just a quick breakdown. Cody Durden pretty much controlled Jose the entire first round with wrestling, pretty much what Cody Durden does, just kind of smothered him, overwhelmed him. And then the second round started, and Jose said, fuck that noise, ain't going to do that again, and just charged him and knocked him out within, do you have an official knockout? I want to say it was in the first 15 seconds. 11 seconds the second round, so yeah. Didn't take that shit again, just went in there and finished it, got the work done, and that's pretty much all that one wrote. It was a nice knockout, too.
Yeah. It was a pretty good fight. In my notes, I have here that it was just an all-round MMA fight. Some great stand-up to some wrestling.
Yeah, Cody Durden, like I said, he's a grinder. Doesn't really finish fights that I remember, but wins fights. So this Jose guy probably will do some work in what is this, flyweight division? Cody Dern's flyweight, right?
Yes.
Yep. So he'll probably do some fucking damage in there if he can work on his ground game a little bit, his takedown defense a little bit, not get taken down, not waste that entire first round like he did that fight. He will save himself a lot of trouble, and he will do probably good things in the pretty stagnant flyweight division we got going right now. I picked him by submission. I thought he would maybe stop Cody on the ground when he got took down, just his explosiveness. But I think Cody was just a better grappler, so that didn't happen. That just was a bad call. But he did end up finishing him. Good fight. Not as good as a fight as this next one.
I don't know. I don't even know if this was a good fight. It was a great knockout, great finish, but
yeah, not much of a fight.
As a fight, yeah, you're judging everything.
Malcolm Wellmaker, Chris Moutinho. The return of Chris Punching Bag Moutinho. Malcolm Wellmaker, dude. So we talked last time we saw Malcolm Wellmaker. Me and Luke very hyped on him. Dude, just got hands. Dude hits hard. Dude knows what he is doing when it comes to punching people in the face and putting their lights out. Was able to quit his welding job on the last fight because he got a performance of the night bonus, so he's got to focus directly on fighting. This was kind of a quick turnaround because it seemed like 3 episodes we were talking about this guy ago. So I mean, it's
April 26th was his last fight.
So yeah, I mean, it was like 4 episodes we were talking about this guy. Chris Moutinho, I ain't got much bad to say about Chris Moutinho, honestly. I made the punching bag joke. I mean that with respect, but it just didn't hold up this time. But we all know him infamously for stepping in on short notice and fighting Sean O'Malley and just taking what seemed like 1,000 punches to the face and still walked forward like a zombie. Was no punk. Didn't really do much damage to Sean. Didn't really do much damage to Malcolm. He was on like what, a 5-fight knockout streak outside the UFC in between now and then.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
All 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He has a guillotine.
So okay, but still 5 finishes. So I mean, he's still formidable opponent. He's not just somebody, that was a gimme, which it kind of was. I hate to say, but they knew what they were doing right there. But kind of a short notice fight for both of them. So even playing ground, Chris Moutinho has a lot more experience than Malcolm Wellmaker. So that was kind of what was going to be the odds in his favor if there were any. But if you missed it, was just when I say perfect right hook to the face, I mean, you couldn't picture a better right hook to the face. And then, go ahead.
One of the prettiest knockouts I've seen in a long time. We've had some good knockouts this year, but that one was just picture perfect. Like,
yeah,
make movie shots out of it.
And what movie-like about it was when he hit him, he like just turned and face planted right to his face. So I mean, like a Rocky movie, just straight KO, face plant. You kind of feel bad for Chris Moutinho. Seems like a nice guy. Seems like a hard worker. Seems like a real fighter's fighter. I think they should give him another chance. I don't think they should cut him again on that performance, especially for
short notice.
Yeah,
killer.
And in a weird way, like this is, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but look what he's done for Malcolm Wellmaker and Sean O'Malley, in helping them become stars. So I mean, he is going out there, even though he's, especially with the Sean O'Malley shit. Like Sean didn't KO him. Sean, that was 5 rounds of beating his ass. So I mean, he is a tough guy. It just goes to show you how hard Malcolm Wellmaker hits. And just so you know, it's fucking hard.
Exciting to see what he will do going forward.
Me too. Exciting. Me too. Especially, like I said, especially now he can focus completely on MMA and, evolving that. Still a young guy, still undefeated. He's got a long road ahead of him, I'm sure. Still, I don't really know his grappling skills. I don't remember it being tested very much, so we'll have to see how that goes. But at least a fun fighter in the bantamweight division, if not contender. So we'll see where he goes. Malcolm Wellmaker, well done, my friend. And we'll move on to fight I don't even know if we should even talk about, but Michael Chiesa and Court McGee. Two old heads. Michael Graybush Chiesa. Man, it was just not a good fight. Crowd booing. I don't know if you remember that. Crowd was booing. It was stand up, bouncing around, bouncing back and forth. Nobody really throwing anything. Nobody really trying anything. Shots that were thrown were kind of whiffed. It was just, honestly, it looked like two 40-year-old dudes going out there and collecting a paycheck. I don't think either one of them really wanted to do damage. I don't think really they were that scared of each other. I think they're just two vets. Didn't really push the pace too hard, just waited for, a moment that never came, honestly. And I don't understand how Michael Chiesa won that fight. What's the scorecard? You got that handy? I'm curious on that. What do you remember from that fight, too? Go after the scorecards. Let me know what you thought.
So the scorecards are 30-27, 29-28, 39-27. All for Chiesa.
Was I watching a different fight? I mean,
the second ref with the 29-28 gave the first round to McGee, and then no one else gave a round to McGee ever. I mean, you might have been watching a different fight because the media scores, which are just other websites that do their own scoring, all have
not a lot happened.
30-27.
Chiesa. Damn, just dominated him, huh?
Yeah.
What do you remember from that fight? I just don't. I remember
for me, this says on my notes, first round, kind of boring, not much happening.
I got boring written down in both rounds.
Second round, almost instantly, was a kick to the nuts.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was probably the best part of the fight. Walked right out and
a fucking kick to the balls, as
kick to the balls.
Ben Askren would say.
Boss Rutan.
Boss Rutan, damn it. Third round says McGee brings it back, but not enough. That's my notes.
Wasn't enough. He did start to turn around in the third round, right?
The third round, yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was very competitive, and McGee was throwing his best, So I don't understand how he got the first round and no one scored the third round for him when the third round is the round I believe he could have won. Because I remember the first round was kind of boring because they didn't really do anything. It's like a coin toss.
They literally just kind of like idle Mortal Kombat characters in front of each other, just standing there, barely moving.
Testing moves before you fucking fight in a video game.
Literally, like teaching someone the controls on a fighting game. Man, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it looked like two old dudes going out there and just, looking at each other and being like, let's go home, dude.
Yeah.
Just
let's fucking cash in.
Just doing what they do.
Let's get our 8 hours and let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Clock in, clock out. We'll flip a coin, see who gets this win money because nobody really went. Like you said, Court McGee kind of went for it in the third round. It was just a little too late to really help him. So, I mean, he lost the fight, dude. And Court McGee, what's his record of late? He wasn't doing bad. He's probably been in the UFC longer than Michael Chiesa, I would have to assume. Am I crazy on that?
I'll check both of them. Court McGee started in 2016, Chiesa 2015, so a year.
Okay, so, yeah, wrong.
Chiesa just a year.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa came through the Ultimate Fighter. Chiesa was
I think both of them did.
Okay, I'd believe that.
I can look at that too. Oh wait, I might have been way wrong. Oh yeah, way wrong.
When Court McGee start?
2010.
2010. Okay, so 15 fucking years.
Okay, and Chiesa was 2012.
Okay, so Court McGee.
So I didn't even notice. Yeah, that it went.
Okay, I'm back in, baby.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong. Okay,
not wrong.
so
I remember that.
Court
for the
McGee is
future.
a fucking old head, dude. While you were looking, what was his last few fights leading up to this? I think he's got a few good wins in there.
Submission against Tim Means.
Yeah.
A
Another
loss
vet.
against Alex Morano.
Yeah, that's Morano and Means, two other vets, been in the UFC probably 10 years plus.
And then that was 2024. 2023 lost to Matt Brown, KO. Lost to Jamal Wells. And then last win was a guy named Ramiz Bahamas.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take your word on it.
So back and forth.
Okay, back and forth. I do remember seeing him do really great in fights. So
He's got a goddamn.
I really didn't have any faith in Michael Chiesa, which is bad to say, but sometimes he's a tall guy, but sometimes he seems a little undersized for welterweight. And then you look at it and you're like, how the hell did he make lightweight? Because like saying next to Court McGee, he looked big, but Court McGee is an old school welterweight, so he's a smaller guy as well. So it didn't really,
Court
wasn't a
McGee's
great look.
40 years old and 5'11".
He's all of fucking 40. He's every bit of fucking 40 years old.
Chiesa's 37, 6'1".
Yeah. Like I said, that gray hair coming in too, really starting to show his age. He's hit the plateau, man. He's not evolving. He kind of just goes out there, does what it takes to win. He used to be a motherfucker on the ground, but every time you think he's going to go out there and submit a guy, he will get submitted. So, I mean, it's, it is what it is when you get Michael Chiesa. It's kind of, you take what you get. People thought him moving to welterweight was going to be like his big coming out party and he was going to be the next, title contender, but I did not see that happening. His hands are just non-existent. His stand-up is not great. His submission game is all he's got, and his submission defense is not as good as his submission offense. So, I mean, there is a chance you could catch him, too, which he's been submitted a lot, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Michael Chiesa, he's the man. Just stick to fucking the desk work, bro. You're doing great on desk work.
Yeah.
So
First thing I seen was a meme that said Michael Chiesa secures his desk job.
Yeah. And we always say it, dude. You don't see a fighter who is on like a fucking 15-fight winning streak on that desk. You see like Anthony Smith. You see Michael Chiesa. You see Alan Jouban. You see Michael Bisping, which he's retired. All of them are retired now. It is definitely probably time for Chiesa to retire. Even though he just won a fight. It's crazy to say. Honestly, that's probably where he should have stopped and just went out on a win. Because it's only going to get harder from there. Can you imagine fucking Michael Chiesa against Shavkat Rakhmonov?
No.
Or an Ian Gary?
No.
I mean,
He
that's
has
like... that's
4 submission losses. All the people that... Not all of them, but a lot of them to people that I don't see doing submissions.
Vicente Luque is one of them.
His first ever submission loss was Jorge Masvidal.
You got subbed by Masvidal, bro?
Yeah, 2013.
That shit. So he went from a black belt down. They took his black belt away on that, I'm pretty sure, and gave him back to a brown belt. What happened next?
His next one was Joe. No, that's a Dr.
Hang on.
Stoppage.
Subbed by Street Jesus. I still can't get over that, dude. I knew that
this one
too,
makes
but it
sense.
still hits. Who is it? Oliveira?
Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee. Okay, yeah.
And then next, back to back, Anthony Pettis submission.
Anthony Pettis, not Oliveira. That's what I was thinking. Anthony Pettis,
And then Vince Luque.
Vicente Luque.
And then his last submission loss was Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
He did take Sean Brady to decision, though, in 2021.
That's pretty impressive. I guess it's not a good look for Sean Brady.
Yeah. He also took Diego Sanchez in 2019 to decision and Neil Magny in 2021, same year as Sean Brady, to decision.
That was his welterweight streak.
That's this is such a crazy record. Dude.
Neil Magny, fucking Diego Sanchez, fucking CM Punk, fucking just the run of killers he went on right there.
Yeah. I mean, he fought fucking Carlos Condit in 2018.
Yeah, that was one of Carlos's farewell fights. Condit went on a little run there till like about 2020.
Well, he lost that fight.
Didn't go ahead.
So he lost that fight against
Condit,
Chiesa.
yeah. So say he.
But he won against McGee. He has a win against McGee in 2020. And then a win against Matt Brown, and a loss to Max Griffin, and that was his last fight. Decision loss to Max Griffin.
Yeah. Michael Chiesa, the Maverick, Michael the Maverick. I think you should just, I don't know, bro. Maybe just hang it up before something bad happens.
Yeah,
I don't know. That sounds mean to say, but like, again,
You're
like
right.
him versus like Ian Gary or him versus fucking like literally think him versus JDM. That's a fucking tune-up fight for JDM.
He's never gonna be champ. I mean, I say if he continues to fight, it should be like fucking not joke fight. I hate saying joke fights. I can't think of the word for it. Just like special fights, like names.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
but not
okay,
big names, like
who?
veteran
like MVP, that's gonna fucking will kick his head off.
There's veteran names. You know what I mean? Not nobody that's going for the belt.
Yeah,
Same
like
people on the
which
same
there
brand
ain't
as
much. There's not much in welterweight.
Yeah.
Welterweight's at the point where it's all new blood, and they're really. Who's an old school welterweight you got off the top of your head? Sinte Luque, I guess, that just got cranked. Like your old heads.
I don't got many.
Disappearing, dude. Trying to think. Yeah, I can't really think of any older ones. Usman, he's still winning. We'll get to him.
Yeah, imagine him against fucking Buckley.
Chiesa against Buckley?
Yeah, but this fucking night's performance, I don't even know. We'll get into it later, but I don't even fucking know. We'll get into it.
But, yeah, again, Chiesa, he's at a weird point where... What was Chiesa's last fight? I wonder.
Michael Chiesa. Griffin.
Yeah, I can't remember. Max Griffin again. Did he lose?
Yeah, he won submission.
He won submission?
Yeah. He's on
Well, damn.
3-fight winning streak.
Who was before Max Griffin?
Tony Ferguson.
Okay, who was before that?
Kevin Holland lost. And then Sean Brady lost. Vince Luque lost. Sorry, I hit my mic. I don't know if you heard that.
It's all good. So, yeah, his biggest wins are like Diego Sanchez, Tony Ferguson, Neil Magny. Max Griffin's no punk, but I think Max Griffin's about out too. I mean,
he about win against RDA 2020.
That's okay. That's impressive.
Benel Deliush 2016.
That's all lightweight too. This is before he came up to welterweight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe don't hang him up, Chiesa. But if I was you, I don't know, bro. Like I said, it's just hard to imagine him. I don't know what he's got for the top 10 of the division.
And I mean, when he won Ultimate Fighter in 2012, it was against Al Aquinta.
Al Aquinta, yeah.
And he won by submission first round, 2 minutes and 47 seconds in.
Said he's got like subs, but like sometimes his defense ain't good. So it's like could go very wrong for him. But we'll see what's next for Chiesa. I'm sure we'll vaguely talk shit about him next time he fights. He's probably not done. I used to really like Chiesa too, so I mean, and I still do. I'm not gonna say like I used to, like I hate him now, but it's like his potential's kind of hit a cap, is what I'm trying to say, and be honest about. You know, he might not like to hear that, but it's kind of like you kind of see the division passing him by, and you kind of seen it happen in lightweight. And when I seen him just going up to fight bigger versions of the dudes he's losing to, I didn't really think it was going to go well for him. So he's done better than I would have thought, but he's still not close to that gold, if you know what I'm saying. But we'll move on because we spent too much time on that one to get to this next one, which we may not spend a lot of time on, but this is a good fight to talk about. The
I don't think there's much to say. I mean, there's a little bit to say, but not.
This is a weird fight. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll start.
Lot of
let's go
controversy.
back. Let's go back a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 cards.
This was
ago.
originally scheduled 2 cards ago and had to be rescheduled for what I have heard through the grapevine and through just national television, a herpes outbreak. And I don't know, weird ones to get stomped up on, but yeah, herpes outbreak, and I was gonna say we almost blamed it on Bellato because I don't know why we wouldn't have thought it was Paul Craig with the way he's fucking.
Well, I think the original. See, this is why I'm fucked
A
up.
ladies'
I
man,
think-
gross sometimes.
I think they said before.
It was Rodolfo.
Yeah, was pulling out of this fight.
That's what I thought I heard too. And then I heard herpes after
last
that. I never heard it
night,
was dude had herpes.
Yeah, and then last night, well, I heard it was herpes on the lips. That's what I heard.
Herpes on what?
Yeah,
Or
I heard
just
that
yeah,
someone
okay.
had herpes on the lips. But I think I was telling you, I think they count cold. I think cold sores on your lips.
They just
is a
don't
type
take
of herpes.
chances. Yeah.
Yeah,
They just don't.
and
fuck
so
with
maybe,
it.
Paul Craig is the one that had herpes, and Beato pulled out of the fight because of it. Because he's like, "Fuck that, I ain't doing this." You know, maybe it wasn't Paul.
If
Paul
he
Craig's like, "I'll fight
did-
with herpes."
If he did that, what's coming up next might possibly be one of the biggest bitch moves in UFC I've ever seen. Okay, so let's just fast forward. That was the last fiasco this fight had. So let's fast forward here to the actual fight, okay? They come out, everything's pretty normal. He's working Craig on the feet, which we are to be expected. And then he knocks Paul Craig down on his back. And we all know Paul Craig on his back can be a motherfucker. I mean, he's got submission wins over, 2 champions. So he can get you if you are not expecting it. On his back, he is very dangerous. Maybe one of the best we've ever seen. But that never came up with the grappling aspect because he upkicked him in the face very hard. And the controversy lies in with if it was an illegal kick or was it an illegal kick, because this fight ended in a no contest, which I don't know if I agree with that completely, but I'm sure the thing everybody is talking about is
How
he
crazy
kicked
it
this
looks.
he kicked this guy, and as he is falling back, he puts his hands up like, "Ref, are you going to do anything?" And then once he's seen that the ref is going to do something about it, he puts on a Oscar-worthy performance of laying down and waking up afraid or waking up in a seizure or something. Like, you see the ref kind of picking up Paul, telling Craig to get up, and you see dude's legs hanging in out of the camera, and he is kicking like you just woke him up out of a Vietnam War nap or something. And then he scuttles to the cage, and he's like up against the cage, and he's all like, like a fucking beat orphan or something, just scared of the ref. It looks like he's about to wrap up the legs ref in a leg lock.
It was just for the ref's legs twice.
Dude, it's a bizarre situation. 2 possible scenarios right there. One, he really did get kicked in the head, and it was a late reaction. We've seen that before. You remember when Shane Burgos fought Edson Barboza, and he will kicked him, and then he kind of walked back, and then he almost like he was about to start heading back towards him, but he just fell backwards.
Fell over, yeah.
Yeah, and just
Like a fucking movie.
literally 3 seconds later, yeah, like a cartoon or something. So maybe he did get cracked in the face, and it was his initial reaction to be like, what the fuck? Because these fighters, they go through this shit, they train for it, it's their entire life, they know the rules. So if he thought he either had an upper hand on him or he knew that Paul Craig was breaking the rules, he wanted to make a point of it. Even if he wasn't even conscious, I think his body would be like, stop real quick and let the ref say something.
But I don't know, because motherfucker has been unconscious a couple times in his life. You just don't really know what's happening. You know what I mean?
You really don't.
You don't. No, it's all blurry. It's all fuzzy.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
even if he wasn't he was there, but enough to where his body is going into muscle memory
even
of
the term of conscious means you have to be aware. So it means
No,
he-
you don't.
to-
No, not really.
a little bit. Yeah, because like
He could have
you
been
to
running
be-
on instincts.
I don't know. See, and that's the thing. I just don't know. I personally don't think. Like, I think it could have been a delayed where his brain was trying to figure out what's happening, and it's still conscious, and then it shut off. Because like that feeling of your brain shutting off ain't always instant. There's sometimes
No.
it linger. There's sometimes
And
but-
his adrenaline is shooting
Yeah.
through the roof. So, I mean, that's keeping him going, too.
But just the way that it was, just the way that like.
And it also could have been like
Toyota-
he kicked. And speaking of adrenaline, he kicked him, and he was like, in the middle of the fight, got kicked, got a stopping moment, and in that moment, he might have got like a breath or his adrenaline dropped or something, and that's what led him to just
Dude,
fall back and fucking.
I didn't. Sorry to interrupt you. I didn't think
Go ahead.
about this until in this exact moment. This is the second up kick in a row.
In a row.
Yeah, Harris. The Harris fight. There was an illegal up kick.
Oh yeah.
They stopped
And
the
she got
fight, took a point
Yep.
away.
Yep, that was a good call too. I like that. I like that he stopped
So-
and took her and took a point. That was not bad.
Because I like, even last night we was talking about it. I was like, this does look fishy, blah blah blah. But we'll wait until stuff comes out and hear a little bit more about it. But now that like I'm thinking about it, and
He might have wanted just a point taken from Paul Craig, and then
That's
he ended
what
up
I
getting the
thi-
fight
I thi-
canceled.
I
So here's-
honestly think like it might have been like a fucking. He knows because the
Okay.
controversy just happened. That up
Yep.
kick happens, so
Yep.
he knows it's illegal, and then he does his Aljamain Sterling, award winning.
Well,
Shit,
here's
and
what I was when I started. I said there's two paths. This is me and you just talked about path one. Now we're getting on path two, and this is what Anthony Smith said. This, even I think he said it out on the desk after the big show, and it was saying that he was faking it. He goes, dude, it just don't.
was-
He can tell. He can tell it didn't look organic. He's like,
Even
getting
the
knocked out.
reaction
It just didn't look
seemed
real.
over dramatic.
Look up Anthony Smith's quote if you can, real quick. He had a good point on it. I can't remember it exactly, and I did for a second and then forgot it. But it was just odd, and like everyone, it just didn't look right. But it would be weird to call him like a liar or call him like a pussy or something, because he was just doing his job. He's in there fighting.
Well,
But-
like, I know you've seen it. There is a famous clip of a dude getting knocked out in some like Russian organization, and then as the ref is trying to like help him because he's unconscious, he gets up and tries to submit the ref, and then the ref has to submit him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, like I say, I know you've seen that. It's a famous MMA clip. If you watch MMA
Yeah.
and you on Instagram or social media,
In
you
which
have
we were headed
seen
that
this.
way when he started wrapping up dudes' legs. But he may have did that just for a show. I don't know,
I
because
was
he
gonna say,
didn't really.
well, if
he
you-
just.
in that one fight, when the dude is doing the submission, he is unconscious. You can tell by the way his face is, the way
Yeah,
he's doing
okay.
it, and he don't hesitate.
And that's my play on dude. You can almost believe Bellato because he, like I said, just not conscious, just by like muscle memory. He got kicked. He knew it was illegal. He knew he was probably, before he got kicked, was thinking, if this motherfucker kicks me, I'm going to act like he upkicked me. And even though he probably got really cranked, and then it was just, he was already in the motions of, look at the ref if I get kicked, look at the ref if I get kicked, and then he finally got cranked and looked at the ref and was like, you know what? Oh, and then fucking boom. So it could have been his plan all along. Again, if I don't know, man. Weird move. It makes you look at Rodolfo a different way.
This is what Anthony Smith said. He says, as
Go
the
ahead.
upkick happens, he looks at the ref to see if the referee realizes that it was illegal. He looks right at him. You see his eyes come to the referee to protest, and then when he realizes maybe I can get a free win, he lays there, pretends to be unconscious, jolts back awake allegedly. Referee comes over. The man who is awake pretends to grapple the referee as he's unconscious, trying to get the cheap win. I've been doing this for a very long time. I know what it looks like when somebody is faking it.
See, I mean, that's the other point of view. I don't know. It's hard to. Unless you like lie detector the motherfucker, who knows really? But it's not a good look for Bellato, honestly. It was going. I picked Bellato by first round submission. It was kind of going exactly how I would thought it was going to go. I thought he would have maybe cranked Paul Craig and let him up, but he went to go down to fight him on the ground, which I was like, well, there goes my pick. And Paul Craig does what Paul Craig does on the back. He's just dangerous, dude. Whether he's going to kick you or grab you or break your arm or whatever he's going to do, don't go to Paul Craig's guard. I don't know if what fighter needs to hear this. Who's ever fighting him next, I don't know if they redo this fight again. Don't want to see it, honestly. It was not a good fight for Paul Craig to try to come back on. Nobody really knows who Rodolfo is.
Here it says that it was Rodolfo that had herpes. It says the Brazilian was forced to withdraw from his fight due to a case of herpes.
So if you ruin the fight with herpes and then pull that shit, bro, that ain't the way to do it. To be a fan favorite.
Anthony Smith also said this is WWE level stuff.
God damn it, Anthony Smith. When you're right, you're right.
And like I said, I've been seeing a lot of clips of it today, and there's an angle from the left where we could see the leg come up. It looks like it snips his ear. You know, like his head don't jolt back. Like if you got kicked in the cheek, you would think your head would snap back, you know? But even with this, it didn't even seem like that. It seemed like it was like a fucking graze.
Just like push him. Yeah, just kind of pushed him.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That was a weird ending to that fight. Hate it for Paul Craig. Like Paul Craig. This is not a good look. He's got to get back in that win column. Bellato, you need to get back in that win column. Get this behind you. Get this bullshit behind you. Because right now this is not what you want to be known for. It's just not a badass look. It's not badass to reschedule a fight for a herpes outbreak. It's not badass to fake getting knocked out and be like, ooh, fight the fucking ref. And just...
I know, like I was saying, like, someone
it's not
that's
cool.
been unconscious, it just looked weird. It just looked, it just...
Well,
it's like when you're unconscious, there's a thing, like, you feel so heavy. Your body feels so heavy. You have, you get this tingling feeling all the way through your body. You feel so fucking heavy. Like, it feels hard to pick your head up. That's why usually people have to help you pick your head up. So, like... Yeah,
you're knocked the fuck out. Like a sack of potatoes.
There's flash knockouts, too, where, like... Which happens a lot in the UFC, where it's just a quick strike, you hit the ground, ref's over you, and then you're up.
Well, no, okay, well, not even just people who's not been knocked unconscious. When you watch this sport enough, you've seen people knocked unconscious more than you ever should, but you get the feel for it, you've seen it, you know it. It's kind of like when you see fighting in movies, it looks stupid, it looks fake, you don't believe it. The timing's off, the sequencing's off, the feel's off, they don't, you can tell. And that just did not look weird. Weird shit happens. Because the human brain's a weird thing. He could have been there, could have been gone, could have been back, who knows. But when you watch this sport enough, you do kind of know what you're looking at. You do kind of pick up on things of like what looks weird to you, and that just looked weird to you. And everyone says the same thing. I'd say a lot more people agree with Anthony Smith than don't. So... Well, like I said, we'll just have to see what comes of that. See if they reschedule that fight. Hope they don't. Who the fuck cares at this point? But we'll move on from it too. Moving on to the main card. We'll try to fly through these here because not too crazy happened on the fucking main card. Honestly,
I can show you right here. Every single main card fight went to decision.
Yeah,
every single one.
Yeah,
that's why we were so fucking tired last night. was because
Yeah, dude.
every fight went to decision. 1 a.m.
It was a struggle.
Oh.
So, starting off Alonzo Minifield, Umar C. Let me see what I wrote down for that, because don't even think I wrote anything down. It was not a great fight.
I got Minifield got eye poked almost immediately. Second
Hell
round
yeah.
was a quick back and forth. And then only thing I have for third is it went to decision. Minifield.
Definitely did. Yeah, Minifield, a vet, so that's probably what helped him on that. Kind of just a boring fight, man. They stayed up most of the time. I mean, it was... I can't remember if there was a lot of wrestling or not. I don't remember that fight that much, honestly, because like I said, this card's just... God damn, it was a task to try to just fucking take it all in and try to remember it and to try to talk about it. Mansur Abdul Malik and Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage going on being a vet at this point. But the Malik guy, he never been to a decision. This is the first decision he's ever been to. It just had to be this card. You wasn't getting a finish on this main card with the fucking shit they were putting up on this. So maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just the curse of this main card. So, yeah, first decision he's ever been to, he won. I remember him he hit Cody Brundage behind the ear, and it fucking bled crazy amount.
This one was a weird fight, too, because there was a headbutt in round 3. They just stopped the fight and then judged the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
There wasn't even a third round. They just stopped the fight because of a headbutt knockdown. And then the judges didn't even count it.
Yeah, it was kind of a bland fight. Like I said, I don't even remember what he caught him with. I'm going to have to guess like a hook to the ear, behind the ear, but it cut right behind Cody Brundage's ear. So it was just like a fucking blood trail all the way down his neck and chest, hitting the ground.
Yeah, I didn't even see it either. It was one of those things where it just like
bleeding bad.
Changed camera angles and his ear was bleeding.
Bad. Moving on. Cody Garbrandt, Yanni Barcelos. Cody Garbrandt. Man,
I
what a fall from grace.
Literally only have 2 notes for this one. And the first note is Cody came out swinging in the first round. And he did. You remember? Like, he just ran right up to him first fucking 3 seconds in the fight and was just throwing.
He brought it to him. That's what he does. He's good at pushing you and kind of defending. I mean, Cody Garbrandt's defense has always been his biggest weakness. The Dominic Cruz fight is deceptive on how, like, you think Cody Garbrandt, because like he's fucking dodging him and dancing, break dancing, and fucking doing the splits and shit or whatever he was doing that night. Just looked like the greatest thing to ever grace a UFC cage. But that's not the Cody Garbrandt that, you know, you see every time. Ever got again. It's just not realistic. TJ Dillashaw kind of shut that shit down, kind of showed you his real flaws. Cody just, like, his defense ain't great. He tries to use head movement, and that's not always the best idea, especially when you're fighting these smaller guys at 135. Cody Garbrandt, you know, he's getting a little better at the defense. He doesn't get hit quite as much, but he still gets tagged, and it don't matter how many face tattoos and cornrows you get. It's just, you know, not going to save you from getting cranked. Yanni also used his grappling. Yanni's a vet too, so I mean, I seen this going exactly how I picked it. Yanni by decision. So, another one like a Cody Garbrandt is a Michael Chiesa situation of, like, it might be time to just quit while you're ahead, quit while you still have, your dignity and your faculties, and I don't know. I mean, Yanni Barcelos is pretty good. He's got some wins that, you know, would surprise you, but Cody, he's just, I don't know. It's fun to watch. He'll give you some highlight KOs, but if it's anybody who has any momentum and is in the thick of it and wants to, really put aggression on him, it's probably going to just you're going to drive him into the ground. If you TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, it will go like that, 9 times out of 10. It's going to work in your favor because he doesn't put his hands up.
So every ref gave the first round. Not every ref. Every judge gave the first round to Cody Garbrandt. And,
Rightly so. He came out swinging. Like I said, that's kind of his thing. Most of his KOs are in the first round. And Yanni kind of let him wear himself out, but then he just was not going to play that shit for the second 2, and that kind of just how it played out. Move on. Edmund Shabazian, and who the fuck did he fight? Andre Petroski. Yeah, Andre
who the fuck he
Petroski.
fight?
I had to move my
That's half
camera,
this
have
card.
it right in front of me.
I don't blame you. Like I said, it's half this card.
Bro.
It's, a name fighting who?
I called this fight last week.
30-27 decision. Sorry. 30-27 decision.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Sabajian. Oh, actually, no. One ref, Nate Mann, gave the second round.
To Petroski.
To Petroski.
I think he held him up against the cage a little bit or something. Probably won on control time. Boring ass fight. Battle of the Glass Chins. I called it last week. Didn't have to put any of that into account because there was hardly any fucking punches thrown. I just said it twice tonight. Looked like 2 dudes going out there to get a paycheck. Nobody really went for it. Shabazian, what's crazy is I remember him being like a kid, and he's starting to look old, dude. Look like his fucking hair's starting to go. Looks like he's slowing down. He had big potential when he was younger. Was training partner Ronda Rousey. I don't know how that fucking helps him, but he was under the Edmund guy, Travis Brown. So, but I guess we all seen how that ship sailed and where the fuck that went. I don't know. Petroski probably going to cut his ass if I had to guess. Middleweight division's doing all right. Has some talent. He was in Ultimate Fighter season. I remember watching just straight wrestler, straight submission if he can get you, but he'll probably just try to control you. I seen him get knocked out one time. I call him Glass Chin. All due respect, Andre, if you hear this, but I seen him get knocked out by a dude's hip one time. Like, he went to take a dude down, and his hip hit him in the head, and he got KO'd from that.
Was it Piera? Michelle Piera?
May have been. You looking at his record?
Yeah. That was
How's it look?
2023. Not bad. I mean, seriously, not bad. He's had a win before that, 2 wins before that, 3 wins before that, sorry. And then a KO loss to a Jacob
Malkoon?
Malkoon, yep.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That was
I think
a
that's the guy.
knockout, second round knockout, and then
think that was
back-to-back knockout to Piera. Not Piera, yeah, Piera. And then he has a win over Meerschaert.
So, yeah, I talked a little bit of shit there. But
More wins than losses, I mean.
yeah, he's done a little bit of work. What's the finish rate? How's his finishes looking? I don't remember a lot of them. I think is he all decision?
There's a lot of decisions. Decision, KO loss. He has 2 submissions. Got submitted. That's all in the UFC. Got submitted. Submitted by Brian Battle in 2021 during the Ultimate Fighter.
That was Ultimate Fighter finale.
Then he has a KO win, and then submission, decision, loss. A lot of decisions.
Okay, well, I'll take that back. Don't cut Andre Petroski. I take it back.
Give him 1 or 2 more.
Give him a little bit. Go ahead and
He's
just
not
cut Edmund Shabazian off that win, though, because goddamn.
I don't know. I have.
What's
I don't know
his
if you
record
remember
look like?
In the third round, Sabajian
He's not got many losses.
got a really nice knockdown. kicked him in the stomach, knocked him down.
He did. I do remember that body kick. Yeah, you're right. He's got talent, dude. Like I said, he's got hands. He got head movement. He got, he's talented in every aspect, but he's not like a master of every aspect. That makes any sense. And it's like, because I've seen him get his durability tested quite a lot.
So, do you want to know all of his losses, or do you just want me to go through his whole record?
There's not a lot of losses, right? There's can't be. He's probably under five losses.
Five exactly. And
Oh
so
yeah.
Submission.
Okay, go ahead.
Last loss was a submission to Mearshart. And
Okay.
before that was Anthony Hernandez, a KO.
Okay, so yeah, dude, name and
great.
name.
You know, her fucking name that I can't even fucking speak.
Um,
Nassourdine.
Oh,
Imavov.
Nasruddin Imavov.
Yep.
Okay,
KO loss.
so that guy just beat Izzy, so.
Okay. Jack Hermanson.
So yeah, he's
Decision.
winning the good dudes.
But losing. These are losses.
Losses. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. And then Derek
you know what I
Brunson,
mean, yeah.
KO.
So, I remember back when he was undefeated, and he was a big prospect in middleweight. I thought he was going places, and then he I think they may have shot him up a little too early. He fought Brunson. I don't think he was ready to fight Brunson, honestly.
It came off of a win against Brad.
Tavares.
Yeah, in 2019.
And well, Brunson was on a run when he fought Brunson, so I mean, it kind of was a bad time to fight Derek Brunson.
Brunson's fucking good too. He pulls it out.
When he was fucking wrestling prime, he was, he was the man.
Yeah, he was coming off of a loss against
Blonde
Izzy.
Brunson. You remember Blonde Brunson? He went blonde, dude. It really
He's,
fucking
the
changed
photo
the
he's
level.
out here is blonde.
Yeah, when he changed, he was the man.
Yeah, all of his wins, good wins. All of his losses, great losses. Lost to Souza, Jacare Souza, Izzy,
Mm-hmm.
Anderson Silva, Robert Lineker, Yarol Romero, Jared Cannonier, Duplessis.
Legend, dude. Fucking legend.
And then he
All
has
of them
wins.
names.
Darren Till, Kevin Holland.
Shout out Derek Brunson. When's the last time you heard that name? He's been out for like a year. I mean, he's retired
2023.
probably 23. Yeah, so.
Ray Cooper III. He beat in the
Ray
decision.
Cooper. Ray Cooper was the third. Was in UFC.
That's what it says right here. No,
I
that was
forgot
PFL.
that.
That was PFL.
PFL. Okay. he
So
went
they
to
cut
PFL.
him?
I think he just fought out his contract, so on PFL.
So I don't even know who the fuck Ray Cooper III. I ain't even heard of this motherfucker.
I like Ray Cooper the third. Hawaiian guy, fights for PFL. Won the $1 million tournament twice, I think, a couple times. But started to fall off. But anyway, Edmund's got potential. He may come back around. Like I said, he looks like he's... How old is the motherfucker now? Probably 32, 33?
He is 27.
Damn.
Younger than you.
A lot younger than me. Damn. Keep fighting, Edmund. Keep your head up, dude. I was just joking with the cut, Edmund.
Yeah. Don't meet me in my house at night, please.
Please don't use your head movement on me. Inside joke on that. I just want to tell people that. Yeah, that's from. He's got the same coach as Ronda Rousey, and the infamous. He was telling Ronda head movement during the Holly Holm fight, and he just kept screaming, "Head movement, head movement," and then she got kicked, and he goes, "No!"
Oh, you peaked bad. He did cut off. He screams no.
He just screams no.
You went to go scream no, and it just stopped.
Well, I'm glad, because it might have been too much. I kind of leaned into the mic, so I'm glad that didn't
Yeah, you
bust
limiter
out people's speakers.
Yeah, you limiter said no. Your limiter said no. No.
No!
Hey, mama.
Okay, moving on. We got two more fights to get through.
We got two more. We're
We gotta wrap this fucking thing up.
Next fight, we don't got much to talk about.
No, I mean another Rose performance that just
Only thing different was second round Maverick. Oh, you announced the fight because we didn't even announce the fucking people.
Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick second round. last 30 seconds had a hard choke. Good choke.
Mm-hmm.
Some people thought it was over. She lost it and just started punching in the fucking head.
Miranda Raverick's good. Rose is good still, too. Also, did you know that Miranda in the second round tore her ACL?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I knew that because, was it second round that happened?
Yes,
So she got the choke during that? Because there was a knockdown that, like, when she hit the ground, everyone was screaming and, like, the commentators were like, oh, and all that. But even when I seen the knockdown, it wasn't even in any place that it would have been, like, a devastating kick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch her fall, when I seen it there, you watch her right leg buckle.
Mm.
And I was like,
Okay.
I even said when we were watching the fight, I don't know if you remember, I said, I think she hurt her leg. I think she hurt her leg. I don't think that was third round. So I have it in the notes. Rose drops Nav in the first minute, maybe a leg injury. I have that written in my notes.
You were right. She tore her fucking ACL, blew her fucking knee out.
And when she got up at the end of the fight, she was limping away. So I think I told you then too. I was like, I think she had a leg injury.
What's the scorecards? I guess she probably won the third, lost the first two.
30-27, 30-27, 29-28. So
she only won one round on one.
Yeah, which I think is crazy. She did really good the second round and almost submitted her.
She did. Yeah, Rose just...
Okay, I want to see if they counted the... Yeah, they counted it as a knockdown for Rose. Like I said, I don't think it was a knockdown. I think she...
Just her leg, landed on her leg weird.
Yeah, I think when she got kicked, she goes to jump back, and then she tweaks or, like, fucks her leg up, and then that's what makes the leg kick hit. I would have to watch the video again. But like I said, like when the way I seen her move and the way I see her fell, I was like, that's not because like it wasn't like a kick to the liver. She didn't like collapse forward and then fall, or it wasn't like a head kick where she fell with the kick. It was she got kicked and then fell over.
Right. I don't remember much from that fight. I watched it. I was falling asleep. Man, it was these last two fights were hard too.
I had to keep you up during the Usman and Buckley fight. I felt like I was trying to keep you awake.
You were. You're dragging me to the finish line. I was laying horizontal, just staring right at the fucking screen.
You're in fucking baby position, calling up Weddy.
Literally like laying in a coffin, like just laying flat at the fucking.
You got the Nosferatu.
I did, trying not to fall asleep, but yeah, dude, it just Rose coasted to a victory. Yeah, vetted her, just literally, used her experience against her.
I even said it last night. So happy it was a 3-round fight. Oh, so happy.
That would have been a fucked up 5-round fight.
Dude, when it went to the third round and I looked down and it said it was the last round, I don't know if you remember. I literally said, "Thank you." Thank you, UFC.
I don't know what it is with Rose, man. She's just not finishing fights anymore. I don't know if she doesn't want it as much anymore or just not as violent of a person, kind of grew out of it. But she just doesn't really go for it like she used to. Not aggressive like she used to be. Yep. So, don't know if we'll ever get that back. Never get Thug Rose back. We might just have Rose Namajunas till the day she retires. And that's cool. That's that's good enough. Still winning fights. Still collecting paychecks. But I've said it once. I'll say it again. That fight with Carla Esparza was a goddamn abomination. It was one of the worst fucking fights I've ever seen in my life. Not anything happened at all. That was one of the lowest strike counts ever in a fight. And she was half that equation. So. Kind of things you never forget. We'll move on. Finish up with the main event here. Kamaru Usman, Joaquin Buckley. Pretty much Kamaru Usman out wrestling him for first 4 rounds. I think Joaquin came back in the last round. Am I right? I didn't write any notes down for this one. I tried to just watch it. So, I was too laying down to watch it. Fucking make notes.
We'll go through it because I got notes basically for every round. Basically.
Hell yeah.
With the first round, I got 5 round decision. First one I got is within the first minute, Usman got Buckley to the ground and just laid on top of him.
Yep, just started it off with just making him work.
Mauling Buckley all of first round. That's what I have.
What's crazy is like Usman, he's fought at middleweight. He fought Chimaev at middleweight, but Buckley just looked so undersized compared to Kamaru. Like Kamaru just laid on his ass, really, just big brothered him for the entire. I mean,
we were
go through your notes, but that's pretty much that first round. It just kept going through the fourth round.
You were saying a lot last night was like, did Buckley even train for wrestling? Did he go into this fight and just?
Did he know who
oh
Kamaru
my God, he
Usman
wrestled
was?
me. What happened? What?
Did he? You didn't watch fight tape on Kamaru Usman apparently, because that was a fucking not a great showing of wrestling defense.
Was not, no. I got second round. Starts off with a little bit of stand up. Takedown. Gets it. Usman goes for a takedown and gets it. Laid on top of him for the rest of the second round. And in third and fourth round, I have the same exact thing written. Same.
Pretty much wash and repeat. Kamaru Usman.
First and second round.
What got him to the title,
Little stand up at the beginning. Wrestled the entire rest. Now, the fifth round's where it gets different. I have, where the fuck was this the whole fight, Buckley? That's what I have for the fifth round.
It's pretty much all you need for the fifth round.
Stopped takedowns. I think the only time he stopped takedowns
was looking good. Fight, calling to the crowd. Crowd's cheering. Crowd was booing up to
there
that.
was 13 takedown attempts from Kamaru Usman, and only 4 happened. I don't remember that. I mean, I guess maybe because there's 4 rounds, he got all 4 of those takedowns, and then he wasn't able to get the rest of the 9 that he meant. I remember. Could Buckley stop 9 takedowns in the fifth round? Is that why we were so fucking fired up about it?
I think so. I mean, he did great last round. Like you said, he did stuff, a lot of takedowns. He was fucking landing strikes. He had Kamaru backing up for the first time in the first, the fucking whole 25 minutes they were fighting. Like, he finally started making some headway, finally started controlling the fight a little bit. Was a little too late. I do remember that actually waking me up. So that's kind of why I remember that. I remember, like, actually sitting up being like, oh, shit, here we go. But
I was shouting.
Nothing really came of it, though. But he tried. Can't really count Buckley out. This was his first real test of, like, upper echelon fighters.
I think I said it last card or the card before last when we brought up Buckley. I think we talked about him and Holland and all that. I said that him and Ian Gary should fight. Now I don't think so. I think Ian Gary would easily win that fight. Because that's Ian Gary's whole MO is let me lay on top of you until I get the win.
Well, he counterfights too, but he's not good at it. So we're focusing on Buckley a lot, which I think we need to give some respect to Kamaru Usman because he still fucking got it. I mean, he not the most exciting style, you may say, but still controlled the fight. Still, looked like a fucking vet out there. He just, Joaquin Buckley's unk out there, just showing kid new fucking how shit goes. Like I said, Buckley may have just had more energy at the end, or Kamaru got tired from trying to take him down and just, I don't know what happened there. He figured something out towards the end, but it was something was working for Buckley towards the end there, and it just was a little too late to be effective or get him the win. But if that would have been a 6-round fight, that might have been a different equation. He might have had something different going, but that's just not how this shit works. It's just not the sport. This is what we got. We got Kamaru Usman moving his way back up to the top. I don't know what would be next for Kamaru Usman. Maybe what's the rankings? Is Kamaru ranked anywhere?
I think he was 5th last night.
So he's right up at the top. So maybe
him and Ian Gary.
Maybe him and Sean Brady. Sean Brady
Sean
beat
Brady,
Leon.
Andy, and Gary are fighting next.
Okay, so yeah.
Maybe the loser.
So there's really no one for him
gets
to.
Usman.
Yeah. Unless you want to do Usman Rakhmonov, but I think Rakhmonov's going to do
Mark
it.
Mono
Well,
should get the fucking belt.
you know it'd be awesome fight, but I don't know if they would do it because I think they're buddies, but Usman Makhachev would be cool. Right? No?
That's not bad.
Not bad? Think it'd be boring?
Be a good fight. You can have a champion to get into the welterweight division.
It would really be able to test the size on Makhachev because, like I said, Kamaru's
Kamaru
kind of
is ranked fifth.
yeah,
Didn't
he's
move.
kind of a bigger welterweight. He's 6 foot tall. Can fight at middleweight. Situation calls for it.
Did a middleweight fight happen last night?
Yeah, Edmund Shabazian Petrosky was middleweight.
Okay. For some reason, when that fight happened, De Ritter went up a point and Paulo Costa went down. That's the only. I don't even.
Hang on.
Seriously, like, I don't understand why that happened.
Cody
He's
Brundage, that was a middleweight fight, but that shouldn't have fucking mattered. Let me look at the prelims real quick.
Okay, I mean, there's no fight, nobody else in middleweight. There's a lot of weird ones, like light heavyweight. Johnny Walker went down, won.
There was no light heavyweight fight on the card. Minifield was probably ranked. Alonzo Minifield and Umar C. Is Minifield on the rankings anywhere?
No, for which one?
Light heavyweight.
No, Asmarat went up and Johnny Walker went down.
Weird. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? It's made by fucking dorks anyway.
Umar Nurmagomedov went up to second and Picogram went down.
I only half the time agree with the fucking rankings anyway. Half the rankings are fucking like names that don't fight anyway. So I mean, it don't.
It's just, I mean, that's just weird to me that a fucking weight class that didn't have any number, like no ranked fighter fighting, and somehow you fucking.
Which they don't change
Blue
until
weight
Tuesday
class?
anyway. They're not supposed to change till
Okay.
Tuesday.
So these have to be old. That's my thing. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
have to
gotta
be old.
Probably old. You're probably
Why
right.
did De Ritter go up when he didn't even fucking fight? He ain't fought recently. He has a fight coming up.
Yeah, no, the Ritter fought Bo Nickel not too long ago. Remember? Beat the shit out of Bo Nickel.
Yeah, but I thought that was 3-4 cards ago.
Yeah, I mean that's 3-4 weeks ago. He can't fight again. A month later.
Yeah, but why is it?
He
moving
could.
him
He
now?
beat his ass. He didn't hurt.
Why is it moving him now?
I don't know.
instead
Like I
of-
said, they don't make moves on it until Tuesday anyway, so it's probably old or they got
been a
something
lot of
fucked
Tuesdays since then.
up. Yeah, well, somebody's fucking up somewhere. I don't think they get paid for that shit. They're like fucking they're like
That was
fucking
2
Reddit
months ago.
moderators or something. They don't even. I don't know. Who cares? Fuck.
I'm just saying it's fucking weird, man.
They got Colby Covington in the rankings for fuck's sake somehow. So
Alrighty, whatever.
Yeah.
We're getting this.
yeah, weird.
We're
ending.
arguing over here with some dumb shit. It don't matter.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, it matters, but again, like, yeah, who the fuck cares? They don't. Yeah. They're stupid. Anyway, we'll wrap this sumbitch up. It's been a good one for not so good of a card. We got a lot of juice squeezed out of that. But catch us next week. Again, whatever. Picogram Podcast. I'm Nick. That's Luke. We've been to Picogram. Thank you for listening. Catch you next week. Later.